So Mahavir, when we talk about limitations in
Mm.
health insurance, this room rent thing always comes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
could you please give the clarity? Everything could you tell me about room rent?
So, point is that room rent limit is a condition where an insurance company is saying that you are eligible for a particular amount of room rent in a particular day. What is room rent? Room rent is basically a per day room charge that a hospital basically charges you.
Hmm.
And insurance company is basically saying that itna room rent tak ka you can take a room. Right?
Hmm.
Like for example, if I'm going by train,
Hmm.
then I'm taking second AC. तो सेकेंड एसी अगर मैं ले रहा हूँ तो सेकेंड एसी की आई हैव एलिजिबिलिटी आई कैन नॉट गो टू फर्स्ट एसी.
First AC. Yeah.
सिमिलरली एंड इंश्योरेंस कंपनी इज ऑल्सो सेइंग कि भाई अगर तुमने यू आर टेकिंग अ पॉलिसी एंड यू आर टेकिंग अ रूम रेंट लिमिट ऑफ 5,000 rupees,
Hmm.
you are not only taking a sum insured of 5 lakh rupees, you are also taking a room rent limit of 5,000 rupees.
Hmm.
Then you can opt for a room in a hospital of only 5,000 rupees.
Always.
Right.
Hmm.
Similarly, an insurance company could actually say कि ये 5,000 नहीं रखते हैं because healthcare inflation आ सकता है and 5,000 can become very low. Like today 5,000 may probably get you a private room in a decent hospital in even Bombay, but 10 years from now it may not
It
give
may
you.
not,
So
yes.
it's very very important that you understand this. We'll discuss it in the coming of part of this video. But right now, let's say some insurance companies put instead of a financial limit, which is 1% of the sum insured,
Okay.
or 5,000 rupees per day of hospitalization, they put a category capping. Right? Category capping
Example?
मतलब कि आप सिर्फ प्राइवेट रूम ले सकते हो. Right?
Okay.
You can take only a private room in the hospital. Right? You cannot take a room above a private room. Right? अभी private room का definition क्या है? Private room का definition is basically the least costly private room in the hospital, which has basically a single occupancy of only one patient and an attendant and a washroom. Right? That is the definition of private room.
Private room.
Usually in 99% cases it is a AC private room, but
Okay.
there could be a tier 2 tier 3 private room hospital which may not private room in a hospital which may not be AC also.
So is
Right.
the private room like mentioned in the hospital
Yes.
document? मतलब
It would
how
be
do how
mentioned
would I
in
know?
it would be not in the hospital document. It would be a tariff. Na? Every hospital has different rooms.
Got
Right.
it.
There will be a general ward. Then there is a 2 or 3, 4 member sharing ward. Then could be a 8 member sharing ward.
Okay.
Then there could be a private room. Then there could be a deluxe room, super deluxe room.
If they have a private room without AC, with AC, and there's a
That could
difference
also
of
possible. So then it will be the
the
without AC.
cheapest one,
Yes,
right?
yes. Always the
Okay.
cheapest one. The lowest
Got it.
category private room is what will get covered in this policy.
Understood.
That way.
Got your point, but like there are chances na, when the room is not available or something might happen. So no problem if I have an upper capping of let's say 5,000 and I get a room of 6,000 and I stay there for 5 days. I just have to pay that 1,000 ka difference, 5,000.
So yeah, like what you said is it makes sense from a user point of view that मैं 1,000 रुपए सारा खुद की जेब से पे कर लूंगा, but I'll take a better room, right? I'll give you an example, a different example, where let's say a hospital basically had a private room which was of 10,000 rupees per day, and it had a semi private room which basically had 2 patients in one room. It was split sharing room, which was a 5,000. So now my brother basically wanted to a private room, so he took a private room in the hospital, which costed 10,000 rupees per day. But his policy had a room rent limit of 5,000 rupees. Okay. So he was there in the hospital only for 2 days. Right? Typically,
Yes.
the mind would say that 5,000, 2 दिन का extra pay करना. I'll pay from my pocket. It's okay, but I want a good room. Right? But that's not how health insurance works. Health insurance typically will not only deduct the additional charges that you're paying, that you're claiming because of the additional category room that you took, but proportionately deduct money for all the other non-MRP expenses that are there in the hospital bill also. So, for example, कि 10,000 रुपए का private room ले लिया, तो आपकी eligibility was only 5,000 rupees, and your bill is let's say total of 2 lakh rupees. उसमें से let's say MRP cost of expenses which are typically medicines is 5,000 rupees. तो 1,95,000 rupees हो गया. 1,95,000 rupees पे ही पूरा deduction लगेगा 15% का. Proportionately, the bill will 1,95,000 divided by into 50% will be deducted from your policy, from your claims or your policy. But the reason is that all the charges that a hospital basically levies on a customer are linked to the hospital room. So when you choose a room of 5,000, then the doctor visit charge may be 500 rupees. But if you choose a room which is 10,000, the doctor visiting charge could be higher. I know for a fact that even blood tests, like the same syringes used, the same nurse will come and take your blood, the same report is getting generated. The cost in a general ward could be 300 rupees for a blood test. It could be 1,500 rupees in a private ward, right? So insurers know this. And because your eligibility is lesser, they will basically pay you for that eligibility ka tariff, right? So there is, let's say, 3 columns. And your column number 1 is, let's say, private room, and let's say there is a second, even deluxe room and a presidential suite room. I choose a presidential suite room. The charges in a presidential suite room for a doctor visit can be 5,000 rupees, and the charges for a a doctor visit for a private room could be 2,000 rupees. The insurance company is also going to do this deduction because they're saying that भाई तुमने सिर्फ ये room नहीं लिया extra. They've also basically opted for all high costs because of the factor of taking the room, the choice of the room that you've taken. I'm not going to pay for anything which comes along with the choice of the room also. Right? I will pay you for the eligibility that you have and all the charges for that basically align to that eligibility of that room.